The Nobel Peace Prize. By the name of the prize, you would think that the prize would be awarded to the most righteous amongst us. In fact, Alfred Nobel did create the Nobel Prizes so that his legacy would extend beyond just being known as the Merchant of Death for inventing dynamite. But the Nobel Peace Prize Committee has had some serious falls from grace in its 100-plus year history. Here are 3 times that the Nobel Peace Prize Committee forgot what peace was all about. Number 1, Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger is the former United States Secretary of State and National Security Advisor under Presidents Nixon and Ford. He won the 1973 Nobel Prize. He is, to date, probably the most controversial of Nobel Peace Prize winners. For one, Henry Kissinger led the bombing of Cambodia, in which at least 50,000 to 150,000 people were killed. By some estimates, at least 5,000 of these were civilians, and according to Kissinger himself, probably at least 50,000 civilians were killed in the Cambodia bombing alone. And it just doesn't end there. Henry Kissinger refused to withdraw United States support from Pakistan when its army engaged in selective genocide against East Pakistanis in 1971. The United States ambassador to Pakistan, Archer Blood, repeatedly asked Kissinger to intervene, but Kissinger got so annoyed by his request that he actually had him removed from his post. And if that wasn't enough, Kissinger went on to verbally abuse both Indians and the Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi for supporting Bangladeshis in their attempts to save themselves from this atrocious genocide. Ultimately, Kissinger was given the Nobel Peace Prize for negotiating a ceasefire in Vietnam. The ceasefire actually ultimately failed, and 2 of the people on the Nobel Peace Prize Committee resigned in protests. But the Nobel Peace Prize Committee never officially retracted their decision to award this man the Nobel Peace Prize. Number 2, Cordell Hull. Cordell Hull is the longest-serving Secretary of State of the United States and the winner of the 1945 Nobel Peace Prize for creating the United Nations. While creating the United Nations seems to be a great achievement meriting a Nobel Peace Prize, Hull's treatment of Jewish refugees in the Second World War forces us to reconsider. In 1939, Hull advised President Roosevelt to return a ship carrying 936 Jewish refugees from Germany back to Germany on the grounds that they could not be given tourist visas because they had no return address. Many of these refugees on the SS St. Louis actually were later murdered by the Nazis. And this was not the last time. In September 1940, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt actually worked with other State Department officials to allow another ship carrying Jewish refugees from Portugal into the United States. Thankfully, Mrs. Roosevelt succeeded. But when American Jews tried to raise money to help other Romanian Jews escape persecution in Eastern Europe, the State Department under Secretary Hull actually delayed the wiring of those funds, which probably ended up in the deaths of a lot of Jews in Eastern Europe. Number 3, Aung San Suu Kyi. Aung San Suu Kyi is the current leader of the government in Myanmar and a winner of the 1991 Nobel Peace Prize. According to state crime experts in the University of London, she is a legitimizer of genocide, most specifically against the Rohingyas of Myanmar, the Muslim minority group. Most people and experts consider the Rohingyas to be the most persecuted minority in the entire world. Research done by scholars at Yale Law School shows that the Rohingya have suffered serious historical human rights abuses. In fact, these abuses have increased over the last couple of years, especially since 2012. A lack of justice and accountability from the government of Myanmar is the reason why these incidents have been escalated and are now to the point of having become genocide. Suu Kyi has not only questioned whether the Rohingya can be considered Burmese citizens, but has also refused to condemn any violence perpetuated against this minority. Even the Dalai Lama has asked her to intervene not once but twice, and she has failed to intervene on both occasions. As of this recording, Aung San Suu Kyi is overseeing the Myanmar's army's systematic operations towards the rape and murder of the Rohingya people, all the while completely retaining her 1991 Nobel Peace Prize and the money she got from it. Since 2012, 140,000 Rohingya refugees have been forced into squalid refugee camps. Uncountably many have been killed, raped, and been on the receiving end of state-sponsored terrorism spearheaded by the government of Aung San Suu Kyi. In the last video, we looked at serial killers and realized that at least when they get caught, they get sent to prison. War criminals, on the other hand, get a Nobel Peace Prize and some money to boot. If you like this video, be sure to check out our other videos and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss out on more great content. If you like this video, I think you're gonna love getting this t-shirt, which I'm about to buy for myself, and you might even want to get this book to give you more interesting trivia on the Nobel Prizes and all the controversies associated with them. Be sure to leave a comment down below to let us know if you think if any of these 3 Nobel Prizes should be retracted. And share this video so that your friends will know how you feel about this particular issue. Well, that's it for this week. Be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on our content next week. See you and goodbye.